An easing of restrictions in some areas, but for New York City, there are a couple of areas of the Bronx and Washington Heights that remain on that yellow microcluster zone. Now, as the city continues to look and monitor those 3 strains that are very alarming, there is some of that good news. Easing of restrictions in some areas, a boost in supply in those vaccines. Both the governor and mayor urging New Yorkers to be patient. As soon as next week, New York City will receive a boost to its vaccine supply. According to Mayor Bill de Blasio, that's 17,000 more doses of the Moderna vaccines for New Yorkers.
It's vaccine, 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 and supply, supply, supply. And that's the ballgame right now. We are going to keep doing all the things we normally do, Narmeen.
With the focus on vaccines as the biggest game changer, state and local officials continue to monitor hospitalization and infection rates across the state. Overall, rates are headed down and is why Governor Cuomo has done away with red and orange zones altogether. But yellow microcluster zones remain in Newburgh, New York, Queens, Washington Heights, and 2 areas of the Bronx.
We're hyper cautious in New York City, but still following the data.
If you see that your zip code is on this list, then you have to take better care of yourself and your family. We all have that responsibility.
That is a point of frustration for some, like Bronx Borough President Ruben Diaz Jr., as is the ability for out-of-town New Yorkers to get appointments for vaccines in the Bronx before actual Bronx residents, an issue both the mayor and governor say they're keeping a close eye on.
I think that ultimately every level of government, city, state, and the federal government need to get on one page. They need to make vaccines available, and they really need to start talking about, as well as priority lists for essential workers, right. But they should prioritize essential communities. They should prioritize communities where they know we've been hit the hardest.
And that is precisely what the governor touched on today, saying he is open to the idea of targeted vaccinations, opening up Yankee Stadium with state and city partnership to make sure those vaccines go to Bronx residents. We are reporting live from the Bronx. I'm Narmeen Choudhury, Pix 11 News.